I'm Leslie.
And I'm Shelley.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're Sisters in Ebert.
And Mom.
Welcome back for another Movie Monday.
It's a very special episode. We have our guest star.
We teased it that there was going to be more Cindy in this year.
We can't get rid of her. She loves a good romantic.
A rom-com.
I love the rom-coms.
Pretty Woman.
Ooh.
1990.
I was going to say, was this 89 or was this 90? Okay, 90.
And this was not a Summer of Movies movie.
No, it was not. This was Mom showing us a Sunday afternoon movie.
Over
she
Dad's cold dead body with this Summer of Movies.
Yeah. No, I don't think Julia Roberts appeared in any of the Summer movies.
I don't think he still ever watched it.
Ocean's
11. But I don't think we ever saw that.
No,
I know
I watched it, but I think I watched it like as an adult in college, like not.
Yeah, Dad liked it, but he didn't show it to us. Yeah.
Okay. Anything we want to start with before I get into the nitty gritty?
Get into the nitty gritty.
Okay, so we open to the Touchstone Pictures logo. I said Disney's dirty little secret.
It is, yes, because we know that that's the
parent company.
I was going to say the studio. What is it?
Yeah, the studio that Disney would house their not fit for Disney label movies under. Yes. But like they're more adult themed movies.
So Disney owns this. This is a Disney movie.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yes.
I watched it on Disney Plus. Unedited. Unlike Adventures in Babysitting. And this is Philip mingling at a patio party where everyone is looking for Edward, who is breaking up with his live-in girlfriend who won't come to the party. But it sounded on the phone like she was in New York and he's like telling her to come to the party that day in LA.
Like, hop on the plane.
Yeah.
It just started.
Duh. Philip is George Costanza.
Jason
Alexander. And Edward is Richard Gere.
Do you know who originally auditioned for the role?
No.
Yes, I do.
No, for Jason Alexander's role. What's his name? The other guy in Seinfeld, the ridiculous one. Newman.
Oh, Newman. Oh, I thought you meant
Kramer.
No,
Newman. He auditioned for it also, but it went to Jason Alexander.
Newman.
I thought you were talking about the Richard Gere part.
Well, there's a lot of different people who were up for that.
A lot of suitors for Richard Gere.
Burt Reynolds and Al Pacino.
Al Pacino, yeah, he turned it down. Like they offered it to him, and he said, "I don't think I'm right for this." Thank you, Mr. Pacino, because I don't think you were either.
And they asked Burt Reynolds why he turned it down. He said, because I'm stupid.
Yeah, he said it was a big mistake. Big.
Huge. Jessica explains that she speaks to his secretary more than him, which is confirmed by his ex. Oh, that's the girlfriend on the phone, which is confirmed by his ex-girlfriend who was also at the party, who recently married. And he asked her, he was like, did you talk to my secretary more than me? And she, they were talking about her recent wedding, and she said his secretary was one of her bridesmaids. Edward leaves the party, which I believe I've never seen this scene before.
I don't think I have either. They probably cut it out on TV for time. Like it wasn't necessary.
Always ever saw him just cruising down in the car.
Yeah.
Kind of cruising.
Yeah, kind of cruising, yeah. Edward leaves the party in Philip's new car, which Philip is nervous about, to King of Wishful Thinking playing. Julia Roberts' alarm clock goes off in a seedy downtown Hollywood apartment and prepares for a night as a working girl and avoids the landlord who is collecting rent by going down the fire escape. So she hears him in the hall collecting rent. And she's
My favorite part of the scene is when she's coloring her boots with a marker.
Yes.
It chips off.
Yep.
I've done that before.
But I've never safety pinned mine.
No, I've never had the safety pin and shut.
A man on the street is asking for people's dreams, as everyone who comes to Hollywood has a dream. Hank Azaria is investigating the dead working girl.
I didn't realize that was it.
Yes!
It was his first, that was his first role.
Role.
Yeah. And Shelley saw him out and about one time and didn't do anything about it.
I saw him across the way. He was at the bar and I was at a table and I was like, I think that's Hank Azaria.
Where?
And then it was confirmed later on. at one of our local establishments, and
then it was later confirmed
confirmed
because I
that
saw a news
he
article
was
that
in
he was in town for some game
filming or
like
something.
no, it was like a college thing for his child, like his adult child.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So Hank Azaria. So he was the cop, and there was a dead working girl who OD'd, and Vivian happens upon, or does Vivian happen upon this, or is it,
No, she happens upon the scene of them investigating it.
That's what I meant. Yeah, the scene of them investigating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whose
not
perspective is this?
It was not a very lockdown scene.
No.
Scene.
It was right near the strip. Like, so, I mean,
they did not block this up. People are just milling around looking. Oh, wow.
Well, he got upset because tourists were taking
pictures.
Vivian confronts her roommate Kit for spending the rent on drugs, while Edward asks directions to Hollywood from Gary Marshall, who is digging through the trash. And this is a Gary Marshall movie.
Yes.
Which I do like that he's usually a cameo.
Yes, I love that so much.
And he gets his relatives involved.
Yes. His kids are both in this.
Well, as we remember from Hocus Pocus too, he was married to his sister, Penny Marshall, in that movie. Kit and Vivian work as a buddy system and have no pimp because they want to call their own shots, but it's very dangerous. Edward looks for directions from Vivian asks for directions from Vivian, and she says she'll for $10. What did she say? Did she say 20 or did she say 5?
She said
5. And then
5.
she's like, price just went up to 10.
Yeah, and then it was 20 for her to ride
along. Because he's like, you can't charge me for directions. Like, I can do whatever I want. I'm not lost.
I'm not lost, baby.
And then, so she said, she's like, price just went up to 10. And he's like, he hands her a 20. She's like, I don't have change, but I'll ride along and give you my personal, guide here. So Vivian knows a lot about cars from growing up in Georgia, but Edward knows nothing about stick shift, as his first car was a limo, and he lets Vivian drive this really souped up car that's Philip's, and she's very excited about that.
And she's good at it, whereas he was not.
Yes,
yeah,
he's
jerking along.
He kept grinding the gears,
and slipping the clutch. He didn't know what he was doing.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, Edward.
Okay. So Edward asks what Vivian charges and she says she won't take less than $100 for an hour, but gets Edward to his hotel, and he asks her inside as everyone gawks at her.
Mm-hmm.
They arrive at the penthouse where Edward has champagne and strawberries sent, and Edward fears heights, so he doesn't go on the deck and doesn't know what to do with her, and usually plans everything out. So it's just kind of awkward when he gets up there. She's like, well, why do you go on the top floor? Because it's the best.
Only the best for Eddie.
Yep. He's very wealthy, in case you haven't gathered. Edward wants to talk first, and Vivian is pro safe sex. She has many selections of prophylactics. Edward has an ex-wife and an ex-girlfriend, mostly based in New York. Vivian is worried about time, and Edward asks how much for the night, and she says $300, and he agrees. She just throws that number out thinking he's going to say no, and he doesn't even blink. Edward fears she's doing drugs in the bathroom when really she's flossing her teeth from the strawberry seeds. And he says very few people surprise him, but she did. Vivian watches I Love Lucy while Edward works. And Edward watches Vivian, and she goes to him and says she does everything except kiss on the mouth. The next morning, Mr. Thompson comes into work, who is from Princess Diaries.
Yes!
Yeah.
Barney, yeah, at the hotel.
Bernard.
Okay, yeah. We figured. The next morning, Mr. Thompson comes into work at the hotel. Philip sets up a meeting with a big client, but wants to go with it to, Edward wants to go with it to, Edward
third time's a charm.
wants to go to the meeting with him as he orders breakfast for Vivian. Edward works on buying companies, and Philip sets up a dinner with Morse. That's the name of the guy. Mr. Morse that night, who is bringing his grandson and urges him to bring a date. So Philip says this is he would do better if he could bring a date along. Edward asks Vivian to spend the week with him and doesn't want romantic hassles, and she agrees for $3,000.
Which equates to like $6,000 a day. Like it doesn't seem like enough.
$6,000?
Granted, yeah, like
600.
no, $6,000.
How do you get $6,000? It's $3,000.
I'm saying today. In 2 days
oh,
money, it equates to
I'm
about
like, I thought you
$6,000.
were giving me a daily value.
No, it's like $1,000 a day.
Okay.
In today's monies, which still doesn't seem like enough to me for
what you're doing.
What you would have to do potentially.
Yeah.
But who am I to say?
Yes. Edward
You
wants.
never a working girl.
No, I wasn't. Thank goodness.
Edward wants her to get nice clothes for going out and leaves for the day with she leaves him. He leaves her with his credit card. Vivian calls Kit and tells her the deal and will leave some money for Kit at the front desk. Kit advises Vivian to go shopping on Rodeo Drive for clothes because Vivian doesn't know where to go. Vivian goes to Rodeo and a snooty sales girl won't help her shop.
She won't do
They won't let her shop.
I have all this money to spend and nobody
will
help me.
Vivian returns to the hotel where Mr. Thompson takes notice, and she is very frustrated being hassled, and they agree that Mr. Lewis is Vivian's uncle and asks her to dress more appropriately, and Vivian unloads being upset
I'm trying
to not being able to get anything, and Bernard Thompson helps her with his connection, Bridget.
to literally buy one thing.
Yes.
Yes. And it's funny because she gets to Bridget and she's like, oh, he's not really my uncle. They never are, dear. Edward and Philip find out that the Navy also wants Morse's company, and Edward does damage control. So Philip is like a freaking bundle of nerves this entire thing.
He needs this to go through.
He's living a little outside his means. He doesn't have old money like Edward here. Vivian tells Bridget that Edward's not really her uncle, and Bridget says they never are, dear. Edward tells Vivian not to answer the phone, and he'll be in the lobby at 7:45 and tricks her into answering the phone again by calling
Stop calling.
Bernard teaches Vivian dinner etiquette and then tells Edward that Vivian, his niece, is waiting in the lobby, and Edward's like, what?
He says, we both know she's not
my niece.
My niece. And he goes, well, how do you know? And Edward goes, because I'm an only child.
Yes, that's right. And then, and Edward, informs Bernard he's an only child, but plays along. Lots of surprise considering I'm an only child. Vivian and Edward go to dinner and see Mr. Morse, who is charmed by Vivian and whose grandson is leading the business talk. So they thought they were talking to Morse, and the grandson was just coming along to observe.
Yeah, but
he's
calling the shots.
Yes.
Mr. Morse wants Edward to leave his company alone and swears he'll tear Edward apart. At the penthouse, the balcony, Vivian discusses dinner and trying to keep feelings out of business. Edward goes downstairs, and Vivian worries at 3 a.m. when he doesn't come back and finds him playing piano in a lounge where he clears others out and undresses Vivian on the piano.
That was actually Richard Gere playing the piano.
Oh.
And
yes,
he composed the piece he was playing.
See, all I could think about was, ew, 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 that's a public piano.
I know.
Ew, 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 ew,
So
ew.
gross.
And
So
that
the
was
next piano
not
player.
in the script. That was
Oh.
ad-libbed. That was ad-libbed. That
Oh.
love scene on the
Wow.
piano.
Oh my.
Yes.
I know they had to add in the piano keys afterward, because when they lean on
Brr.
it, but they did it for real, and it sounded like it was a terrible sounding combination of notes. And they're like, we're just gonna add this.
Next, it probably wasn't as dainty as it
Yes.
sounded. The next day, Edward wakes Vivian to go shopping, who explains that people were mean to her, so he goes with her and gets Mr. Hollister to help her, to help them get a whole wardrobe and for major sucking up to occur.
Mm-hmm. They were quite spendy in these stores, I must say.
And that guy was very funny. I liked him a lot. At the end of shopping, Vivian goes back to the mean boutique and taunts them with missed commission with 2 arms full of bags from other stores. Philip tries to get Edward to strong-arm Morse, and he refuses and ponders that they build nothing because, Vivian was very surprised that he could make so much money in a business where they don't build anything.
Right.
She's like, well, what do you make? Nothing. Vivian seduces Edward with Kenny G. And
I mean, who can say no to Kenny
Actually, did you ever see the Trolls 2 movie?
Yes.
They're like, yeah, the what's the cool jazz like troll or whatever? He puts everybody under the spell with it. Okay, and explains why a relationship with her. He explains why his relationship with his father is so strained. Pretty much like why he abandoned his mom and typical daddy issue.
Yeah, rich daddy issues.
Yeah, rich daddy issues. Next day, Edward and Vivian go to the polo match for Morse's grandson and business with Philip. Philip is also there. Edward tells Philip where he met Vivian, and Philip worries that changes in Edward are due to Vivian and is suspicious of Vivian giving secrets to Morse because she's very chatty with the grandson, like they're getting along. Yeah.
Well, because everybody thinks she's hot.
Yeah,
she is.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And Edward tells Philip Vivian's the true origin story. So like, where she really came from. Philip then propositions Vivian for after Edward leaves. Vivian is upset that Philip came on to her and fights with Edward about it and never felt so cheap before. I doubt that. But.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that nobody's ever made her feel cheap before. Maybe this was hurtful, but I don't think it was the first.
Vivian will leave and Edward throws money down on the table for her to take, which she leaves on the table and he goes after her and explains he was jealous of her talking to David Morse, but apologizes and she comes back. So they're catching feelings.
There's a love connection.
They're getting too
invested.
Yeah. Entangled. Vivian explains her past and how she wound up here, and Edward says that she could do so much more in life. Edward warns Philip to be careful insulting Vivian and takes her to the opera that night, which Vivian loves, and it becomes part of her soul.
They go by plane.
Oh,
they travel by
to San
Francisco.
Francisco.
Jet to, yes.
And the opera they go to see is about like a lady of the night becoming involved with
How
him.
Convenient! Vivian gets Edward to take the day off the next day, and he obliges. That night, she kisses him on the lips, and they are passionate, and she says, "I love you."
But he's asleep.
Yeah.
He's asleep, yes. He did.
Kind of.
Do you think he heard it?
I think he heard it.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did
either.
The next day, there is their last day together, and Edward wants to see her again, so he gets her an apartment and will be a kept woman, which Vivian is unhappy with and talks about wishing for Prince Charming to come save her. Philip calls, believing that Morse is caving in and gets ready to leave and says that is all he's capable of right now. And he never treated... Edward says that he can't be more than what he's offering, essentially. And never treated her as a prostitute, to which she said, he just did. You just did. And is somehow shocked and hurt to be treated like a prostitute that she is. I mean...
Well, when you caught the feelings...
Yeah.
And you think he caught them right back.
Yeah.
However, it's been 3 days.
And
he is the wealthiest person.
Yes.
And, he's got assets to protect.
Right.
Like, come on now.
You're going to take his money, so it is what it is.
Bernard calls and tells Vivian that Kit is downstairs waiting for her, and talks to Vivian about the next steps and admits to liking Edward, and Kit encourages her by reminding her that things work out sometimes. And she's like who? Like who do we know? Cinderella. Edward is in a meeting with Morse and throws everyone out of the meeting but him and Morse. And when
Even Philip.
Get out, because Philip there. Everybody go, okay. He's pretty much just George Costanza.
He is, yeah.
Was this pre-Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was like 91.
I don't know, yeah.
He was a jerk.
Yeah. And when Morse expresses concern over taking care of his existing employees, so... Edward wants to help Morris keep the company going and build ships together with Navy contracts intact, which he bluffed about, saying that the Navy wasn't interested, and he made Morris think that like he had no other options. And much to Philip's dismay, he finds out that he and Morris come up kind of with this deal, Edward and Morris together. Edward goes to touch grass, essentially. That's what he's just going out and touching grass.
He's having
literally
connecting to the earth
literally
moment.
and figuratively. And Philip goes looking for Edward at the penthouse and starts assaulting Vivian. And Edward swoops in at the last minute to save her. How convenient.
Thank goodness, though.
Yes.
Easy old
And
Phillies.
he whacked her in the eye.
Yeah.
Vivian explains that he made her a nice offer, but she wants more, and she wants the whole fairy tale. Edward laments that he specializes in impossible relationships, and gives her the money and his card to use if she ever needs anything. Not his credit card, his business card. So, just to be clear. And in this day and age, that means a different thing. Yes. At the last minute, Edward asks her to spend the night with him because she wants to, but Vivian says she can't. Because she's a prostitute. But Vivian says goodbye to Bernard and has his hotel limo take her home to Roxette's It Must Have Been Love. But it's over now. Edward inches further out on the deck, so he's getting brave, and is now comfortable there. Vivian is moving to San Francisco and invites Kit along, but Kit declines, and Vivian gives her some money to take care of you from Edward Lewis, the Edward Lewis Scholarship Fund. We got believe in you. You got a lot of potential.
You take care of you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Take care of you. You take care of you. However, what's the over-under for how long before she moves to San Francisco and blows through that money and is right back where she started?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. She's not changing anything else about her lifestyle.
Except
She
the
got
location.
this windfall of money.
Yeah.
Is she going to go? Did she say something about looking for a job? Or
No.
She's just changing her location geographically, and then she won't have Kit there to split rent with. And
yeah.
I found some holes. I'm sorry. I know this is a beloved movie. I like it, but it's just geez. Vivian wants her bus to leave, or Vivian waits for her bus to leave in an hour, and Edward checks out. Bernard has the same limo driver take him to the airport to go home to New York City. Kit has a new roommate,
and he lets him know that.
She just took Miss Vivian home.
Yes.
About a half hour ago.
Yeah, just so you know.
Yeah,
she's home.
And it must be hard to let something so beautiful,
precious stuff, because they were looking at this rented necklace. I didn't go into all that, but he did get her like a very extravagant rented jeweled necklace.
Yeah, to complete her ensemble.
Her ensemble for the opera.
And I have to interject there.
Yes.
That one part when he was presenting it to her, he had it out and
in the box,
and she goes to touch it, and he snaps it shut, and she goes ah, and she starts giggling. That was all a surprise. That
it
was
was all unscripted.
Yes, and that's her real laugh. It's a crazy laugh.
And the necklace itself was worth like $250,000, and they had to have the jewelry store they borrowed it for the movie, like from the movie. They had a security guard there, an armed security guard from the jewelry store, just out of the scene. So they wouldn't let that necklace out of there.
Sounds like in Goodfellas, where they had all real bills and they had to stop the scene, count them all up,
make sure they're all accounted for.
So Kit has a new roommate already. Vivian's not left yet. It's leaving in an hour, but Kit's got a roommate lined up.
I'm sure there's plenty of homeless girls that need a place
that she's negotiating with, and will charge a little more than she charged Vivian, as Kit's looking into beauty school, a beauty course. So she's not going to be around as much.
Also, Kit has no money to pay rent because she buys drugs.
That too, and that's probably where Vivian's money is going to go to. But again,
she said she didn't do
Vivian
drugs.
was clean.
Yeah, she said she didn't.
No. Kit, the money
she gave to Kit.
Gave to Kit for school.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's gonna be gone.
She's doing 1 week of beauty school.
She's not even signing up. She has to get to the building and sign. No, she's not doing it.
Edward goes to Vivian's.
Negative Nellies.
It's kids.
I'm a little jaded.
I believe in the fairy tales.
All right.
All right, when I
Whatever.
started out as a therapist, I was a hand holder, and now I'm a tough lover. So. Edward goes to Vivian's and blasts limo horn, and once parked, climbs the fire escape to her, even though he's still afraid of heights.
Yeah, he just suddenly got over it.
And he's hyperventilating.
I know,
all the way
but
up,
still.
yeah. She meets him halfway, so when the prince rescues her, she can rescue him right back. As the man again on the street says, "This is Hollywood, where everyone has a dream," and they kiss. The end.
What a fairy tale.
It is.
The
Who's your
hooker
favorite
with a heart
princess?
of gold.
The original script for this was not happy. It was not a happy ending. It was
Imagine!
It was really.
So
it
it was
was
realistic, is what you're saying.
and that's why Richard Gere turned it down at first, because he said anybody with a nice suit and a good haircut could play that part.
Okay.
And
right.
he didn't want to be this dark person,
Yeah.
you know. But then they lightened it up.
Yeah,
and-
well, he was about to turn it down. Julia Roberts said, like, please do that.
Advocated
Yes.
for him.
Wrote
Wrote him a note and passed it to him
Please say yes.
as he was on the phone about to turn it down, and then he said yes.
Gotcha.
And then they reconnected later and Runaway Bride.
Oh, that's
remember,
right.
Remember that?
I remember we had to rent that.
I remember watching it 3 times that weekend because Mom kept falling asleep. Or
I
something. I remember having to watch, and I kept falling asleep too because I was like, this sucks. I don't want to watch this.
Do you remember the scene in that movie, though? There's one scene in that movie that lives rent-free
The
in my
horse?
brain. What?
The horse?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, where they're walking at night, and she's like, well, you gotta watch out for snakes, though. And he's like, snakes? And she's like, just walk nice. They won't bother you. At night, when I'm walking home, like,
This is
sometimes
what you
in the
think.
dark, I'm like, walk nice, and the snakes will
Oh my gosh.
because you never
Oh,
know.
like,
It
I
might.
probably slept through that part. 'Cause I
We
was
used to have
bored.
some garters, like, near our house.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
My favorite cameo in this, though, is when the guy at the restaurant, when she sends this cargo flying.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes!
he
I was
catches
just gonna
it
say that.
because he's in the Princess Diaries
And he does-
and
and he
says the same thing.
line.
And
Happens all the time.
Happens all the time, yeah.
He said it 3 different movies. He said it in Pretty Woman and then the two Princess Diaries.
Diaries,
Yes.
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 I hope they bring him back for the 3rd.
There is a lot of Princess Bride crossover.
Princess
Yeah.
Diaries.
Princess Diaries. Yeah, I always say Princess Bride. I'm
Not
sorry.
the
Yeah,
Princess
no,
Bride.
I'm sorry. I think it's the same. She's a bride in the one. Okay.
Kinda.
Kinda.
The royal engagement. Kinda.
Kinda. Anything else?
Trying to think. I think we.
This movie's been done to death
Oh,
over
yeah.
and over again.
If
But
you haven't seen this yet, where
I
you
think
been?
this is only the second time I've seen it all the way through, though.
Really?
I've only seen highly edited TV
Yeah.
versions. Like,
Mostly.
yeah.
And you guys
Mostly.
didn't really care for it. See, I could
Well,
watch
you
that.
told us we were too little to watch it for most of our childhood, and then when we were, you weren't watching it anymore.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, now you didn't really care that much for it.
I liked
No,
it.
I
liked
liked
it a lot.
No, I like it a lot.
Okay.
I just don't think it's realistic, and I don't.
Oh, it's definitely not.
And as a kid, like, it wasn't exciting for us to watch, so it was like, oh, Mom's watching that movie again.
I could watch it every time it's
No.
on. I could.
I mean, just the fact that you didn't rewatch it for this and you were chiming in so much.
I know.
Yes. She's seen it a lot.
I have.
And I'm just not the biggest Julia Roberts person either. I don't,
don't
know
mind
what it
Julia
is.
Roberts.
I don't mind her. I don't know.
You get that from your dad. He doesn't care for Julia Roberts.
She's
either.
fine. She's just, I don't see why everybody's
I think she's a little
beguiled
overhyped
with her. Yeah.
I don't think she's a bad actress
I
by
don't
any
either.
means, and I think she's very pretty.
I do too. And I like some of her movies, but yeah.
I like Julia Roberts.
I do too. I don't mind her.
She's fine.
She's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, I like this though. I watched this in an afternoon. I was very pleased about that. Miracles happen.
Yeah, it wasn't a super long movie. It was
It
nice.
said 2:41.
That's not.
That was false because
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
not
that too,
accurate.
and then we got in. It was like an hour and 40 minutes.
It was not that long.
Yeah, and because that's
Ooh,
what
2 hours and 40 minutes. Can you imagine how they would have drawn that out?
I already thought it was kind of like cut, like quick, you know, like
yeah,
we
like
jumped
no
around.
scene was very long.
We weren't deep diving into anything here. Yeah, but
Oh, I remember when she's in the bathtub. They had used tons of like laundry detergent to make all those suds, and it washed out all of her red hair dye, and she had her hair dyed that night. to get it back.
Oh, that's funny. That's
And
funny.
she was singing along with was it Prince? No.
Oh yeah, it was Prince.
Yeah.
Don't you just love Prince?
And there was one part of it where she goes under the water and comes back up, and she did it, and everybody left the room. The whole crew left. And like she came up, and then she
Nobody
started
was
like giggling.
And she did stipulate that she would not be naked in it. She was only 20 years old when she first.
I thought she was 22.
No, when they
When
were
she
filming,
signed
she
on.
turned 21, and they had like a
So when it
cupcake
came out,
for
then
her.
she was 20.
Okay,
Yes,
that makes
yes.
sense.
She did have a body double that she really got along with. Her name's Shelly Michelle. Like I think I'm gonna start identifying as Shelly Michelle.
Please do.
But so she and Julia got along really well, and they actually Julia asked her to be a body double in another movie, but she turned it down and do something else.
Oh.
But like on the poster, it's Shelly Michelle's body with Julia Roberts'
I
head.
can't picture the poster.
It's like she's in the pink, like it's
oh,
like
really?
yeah, like
Why?
it's
She
not-
wouldn't even.
She didn't
be
want her
in that?
body on display like that. And then Richard Gere's hair is brown in it on the
Yeah,
poster.
That's true.
And it's not in the movie.
Huh.
I don't think that man ever had brown hair in his life. He was born gray.
That's so odd to me that you wouldn't like. It's
The
not,
body- yeah, for a
it's
photo.
not a particularly revealing outfit. I mean, especially by today's standards,
Yeah.
like,
I
okay,
don't know.
She
sure.
was young.
She was young. It was the 90s.
Even more of a reason that she
Show
shouldn't
it
be
off while
calling.
you got it.
But no, but then she shouldn't be calling shots, like because you might get blacklisted and not be in
Meh.
movies. But okay.
She was America's sweetheart.
But that was really.
And
her
then she was
first
in that
big
awful
role.
Yeah.
music, that awful movie, America's Sweetheart.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying? It was her first what?
It was
Like
her first
big-
big
Yeah.
role.
Yes, exactly. That's why I'm surprised she was able to call so many shots.
But Gary Marshall really wanted her
Yeah, he liked
and
her.
Richard Gere
Okay.
that's who he wanted from the start.
Okay.
And then Richard Gere said no, and then there were other people that
Back and
interviewed,
forth, back and
and
forth,
yeah.
back and forth.
But he got who he wanted, and it worked out pretty good.
Pretty womanly.
Pretty
womanly. Yes.
Anything? Go
I
ahead.
want to go watch it again.
I'll get you my Disney Plus. No. Get her own darn Disney Plus. Tell her. All right, but we thank you for joining us here at Sisters and Ebert and Mommy. If you look in the description below this video, you'll see links to our social media. We are at Sisters and Ebert on Instagram and Facebook. Come interact with us. Come engage with us.
Say hello.
Let's-
They're great.
Let's rise up in this algorithm and get choosing along. But but again, we actually please like, subscribe, comment, all the things to help us grow our channel and grow our social media, I guess, presence to promote the channel, because that's how you do things these days.
That's where we need you.
But Fridays we always put out a teaser for our Monday movie. Sometimes it's like a guessing game. Sometimes, we're right out there and telling you what it is.
Something fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week at the movies.